All right, my friends, welcome to episode 214 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry. I am a professor, and I am at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. His name is Anthony. He is a developer of video games, and he is at SummerSpeak on Twitter. Oh boy, how's it going?
It's going okay.
Yeah?
Nice, relaxing weekend.
Nice.
Ended out recording, talking with you.
That's kind of like the cherry on top, right?
Exactly. Could be a lot worse.
It could be worse. I'll make it a little worse for you. Just want to let everybody know that I am winning my fantasy football game again this week, and I'm going to be maintaining my at least second place, maybe first place in my league. So,
did you end up winning last week?
No.
Okay.
I've lost 2 games, and I've won 4. So, and then this week, everyone sucks, and I just suck a little less than everybody else.
Yes.
So,
but I did hear the 49ers are 6-0, right?
Fuck yeah, they are. Isn't that
what
crazy?
The hell?
They won today 9-0, so it was a bunch of field goals. They couldn't even score a touchdown.
But they kept the other team from scoring.
The other team didn't score shit. And I had the 49ers defense today, so I felt pretty good about that.
Holy crap.
It doesn't make any sense because their quarterback, I mean, they're not racking up any points in the fantasy football round, but they're doing just enough to win their games, which is all you need, I guess.
That's, all you need. He'll get you at least partway through things. Probably not winning a whole lot into the playoffs, but once you get there, but
they'll at least get there.
That's
must be good for ticket sales.
Better than they have been doing. So
yeah, it really is pretty crazy. So yeah, I don't really care about. I haven't watched a second of football. I just like fantasy football a lot. But if the 49ers make it to the playoffs, I'll probably get pretty excited.
It'd be crazy. It'd be a long time.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I mean,
Alex Smith and Cap were in the playoffs, but
yeah, they were, and then and then you were like, oh, they're on the cusp of greatness, and then the team just collapsed.
Yeah,
and that was before Cap went, like all the issues with Cap and the owners'
Harbaugh
leagues,
going away,
all that stuff. Like the whole rest of the team, I just was like, I don't watch this stuff. I just kind of every once in a while will just check on standings, and it was like the next year, I was like, what the hell, guys? You were in the playoffs before, and now you can't even win a game. Like, you're not even at 50% win rates.
Right.
Like, what happened to this team? It just disintegrated.
That's why sports are so great, because then that shit happens and it crushes you, and then they start coming back a couple years later, and you get a little bit of hope and then get crushed again.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, isn't that what all San Diego feels constantly, all the time?
Yes, that is all they feel, because they win nothing.
I give my in-laws crap about that all the time, because they get so excited that the Chargers are going to make it to the playoffs, or in the playoffs, and I'm like, guys, you know what's going to happen. This is, we've seen this before. You've seen this your entire life.
They get new players, new managers. No, nothing changes.
Yeah.
And that has been Sports Ball with Anthony and Larry.
That's about as much as I can go into it.
This week, we're going to talk a little bit about fucking Blizzard, little fuck you to Blizzard, and then we're going to move on and talk about everything we know about the PS5, because last week there was a bunch of new information, but we were also talking about Blizzard last week, so we punted on PS5 until this week, because honestly, the PS5 is not coming out for a while, so we had time.
Yeah.
So a couple of things have happened with Blizzard in the last week. One was about I think it was an American university or AU.
American. Yeah.
Okay. Esports team that protested against, for Hong Kong, about freedom for Hong Kong, and then got banned by Blizzard. I don't know if it was initially less time.
It took a couple days. It took like a weekend
to get to the 6 months.
Before they received anything.
Right, so it wasn't immediate like with Blitzchung. And they finally got their 6-month ban, and they were very proud about that.
They were like, okay, you're going to ban people for 6 months? Sure, we'll do this.
Yep. And it kind of pushed the point, because it's like, it took a while for them to do it, to the AU team. Whereas with Blitzchung, it was pretty quick.
I want to believe, I'm like, man, Hearthstone, like, teams and streamers need to have your, like, I am Spartacus moment.
Yeah. And
just all of them. What happens if all the teams just put up, like, free Hong Kong? Whatever. Right. Like something. I'm like...
Gonna ban them all?
Yeah, you're gonna destroy your entire pro.
What I actually want to see is something like, and not these exact words, but like, fuck Hong Kong, go China. Something like that.
Okay.
And then to see them do nothing. Like, are they gonna ban someone for 6 months for putting up Chinese flags and saying, yay, China?
Someone should push it and see what happens. Honestly, at this point, they might, just to
I think they'd have to, right?
Yeah.
But then how does that help them with China?
It doesn't. And that's the thing. There's no good way out of this except just being like, yeah, we're just not going to worry about this anymore and just not make it a big issue. But clearly they're not going to do that. They're going to keep pushing this stupid thing.
They just fucked up so badly with this from a PR standpoint.
From pure PR standpoint, they just screwed up so bad.
Not from an economic standpoint, because I'm sure that they would have stunted their growth in China by not saying something. But then following that, not related to that, but on October 18th, a couple days ago, Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, got a letter from the Congress of the United States, co-signed by Ron Wyden, who's a senator from Washington, Marco Rubio, who's an asshole from Florida, AOC, and Mike Gallagher and Tom Malinowski, 3 Congress folks, all together, who usually don't do things all together, sent a letter to Kotick and said, "Hey, you fucking idiots, what are you doing?" At the end of the letter, they said, "We urge you in the strongest terms to reconsider your decision with respect to Mr. Chung. You have the opportunity to reverse course. We urge you to take it."
I mean, what does it say for Blitzchung to know that he has people in the U.S. government lobbying for him not to have any penalties against him?
And naming him, with respect to Mr. Chung. Man, just same thing with like EA with the loot boxes. When you lift your head up and get sniped by Congress, you're fucked.
Yeah, you know that you've done something really wrong at that point. Does this mean that Activision Blizzard is the shittiest company now? EA is second right now?
I mean, if you did a new poll, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless you have Chinese hackers.
I mean, EA won that, was that 2012, 2013, 2 years in a row, worst company.
When maybe ExxonMobil...
Oh yeah, other people should have won. But they were finally dethroned by Comcast.
Well, I think that's worthy.
It was worthy. I was like, good. But yeah, there's way worse company. But I'm like, does Activision Blizzard now get pretty high up on that list? Of course, it's just internet polls, but man, that was hilarious.
Right. So that's where we're at, and we're 2 weeks out from BlizzCon. I feel like there's like
they also canceled at Overwatch event at the Nintendo store. Nintendo didn't cancel it. Blizzard canceled it.
Right, because they're launching Overwatch on Switch, and then all of a sudden, the day before the event, they just canceled it. And people were wondering
why.
Right, exactly. Like, you're not gonna. I mean, a press event? No, you're gonna get slammed by questions about this shit instead of your game, which makes me think like they might want to consider canceling BlizzCon, but it's such a juggernaut that it's already on its way. I don't think there's any way they can cancel something that big.
It doesn't stop. It's happening.
And I wonder what they're preparing. Like, they usually have an open mic Q&A. That's probably not going to happen.
Ooh.
That's probably not
I don't know if they'll have it since last year, though. They got grilled last year.
Right.
So I wonder if they rethought that even after last year's debacle with Diablo Mobile, which we haven't heard anything on.
No, we have not. Don't
at
you
all.
guys have phones? Yeah, we do.
Who threw some shade? I just listened to somebody that threw some shade at that line, though. Oh, Riot, because they announced like 12 new games or some stupid crap this week. And it's not 12 games, it's like 3. But
wow, that was hyperbole then. That was
I know you probably had no clue whatsoever, but it was still dumb because it was like, hey, it's been 10 years since we've made League of Legends. It's our 10-year anniversary. Hey, here's the other things that are coming out. And here's our digital CCG that you can play right now, which actually ended like an hour ago. But they had like a video, and then they're like, as we know, everyone has phones. Because they're making League for phones, and
right.
But still, it was like, oh, it's a little shade thrown at Blizzard there.
You guys might know why we're saying this.
But also, I'm like, God, such good timing for them to load. It was Legends of Runeterra is their CCG. It's a League of Legends themed CCG for digital thing, and I'm like, well, you couldn't time that better.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure all these Hearthstone players are looking for someplace else, and you've proven.
I wonder how hard that would be to jump if you sunk so much money into Hearthstone, but you don't want to support Blizzard right now. Do you jump ship and leave your cards?
Maybe.
You probably just check out the competition at the very least.
Oh yeah, and you had a lot of Hearthstone players playing Legends of Runeterra over the past 5 days. Just It's a more complicated game.
Yeah,
I had a friend who basically said, if your scale is 0 to 1, and Hearthstone is 0 in complexity, and Magic the Gathering is 1, Runeterra is at about a 0.6.
Okay.
It has more depth than Hearthstone quite a bit. It's more complicated though because of it, but it's not as complicated as Magic.
But it's not like Dota with the 3 lanes and whatever else.
No. It's not Artifact. Artifact is like a 10 on that scale.
Yeah.
Artifact
on a scale of 1 to 0 to 1 to 10.
Artifact was so freaking complex. Holy shit.
Did that finally die?
It's totally dead. Okay. Well,
talking about it all.
Their last post was that they needed to reevaluate it and they will relaunch it.
I see.
But God, it was it was so freaking complex. So complex. Really, Legends of Runeterra, from what I was watching and my friend who was in it, playing it, it's very closer to just what you would normally expect out of a CCG. Some things from Hearthstone, some things more like Magic the Gathering, but it's not trying to go crazy different. But man, their timing couldn't have been better. When now,
and that months or years ago when they're rolling out their timeline, this is not even on their radar, obviously. And
no,
not
at all.
Fucking dumb luck.
Yeah. And they're also making a shooter, not a League of Legends suit. It's set in a different world. Mm-hmm. But it's a fantasy totally modern day for FPS shooter thing that looks like Overwatch meets Counter-Strike.
Overwatch meets Counter-Strike.
So it's much more Counter-Strike play than...
But with heroes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Which, who knows when that's coming out. That one's a ways out. And then they announced a fighting game with League characters. So think Street Fighter League.
Wow, they're going all different places.
Oh, this stuff's been in development for 5-6 years. All of them. They've been working on all this a long time. I've heard about it for a long time. They finally announced a bunch of it. Although the card game's the only one that's close to coming out. The other two are within the next 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. And an animated show set in the League world, Runeterra.
Well, might as well.
Because this is the thing. This is what they're doing. They're we have crap tons of money. Although they're still also completely owned by a Chinese company. So
right. Isn't Tencent owned?
Tencent owns them all outright at this point.
Right. So things that you're, thinking about for Blizzard are the same for Riot.
Exactly the same for Riot.
Yeah, except for their PR is maybe not as bad on that front, although it's pretty shitty on other fronts.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how that works out in the end.
Right. We'll see what happens when one fucking League player does the same thing about fucking free Hong Kong. And then how they're going to react to that. Yeah. Because they're fucking owned by Tencent, so yeah.
Yeah. So...
Man, crazy shit. Something else is a little crazy. Tell me if you are at all, on a scale of 0 to 1, how surprised are you that the next PlayStation is called the PS5?
They would be stupid to call it something different.
So a -2?
Yeah.
So we got the official confirmation from the PlayStation blog that it's actually called the PS5, and it's going to be launching holiday 2020. And they had a couple of things to announce, mainly about the controller. They're adding some haptic feedback to replace the rumble, so that when you pull the triggers or whatever, you feel a broader range of feedback, like crashing into a wall feels different than making a tackle on a football field. And then the other thing is adaptive triggers. In LR or L2 and R2, they can program the resistance of the trigger so that you feel a tactile sensation of drawing a bow or accelerating a vehicle.
That's going to be weird.
Yeah, and I hear that, and I hear HD Rumble from the Switch, but actually HD Rumble is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's all haptic. It's more fine-tuned rumble more than anything. Just smaller motors that they can they have finer control over, so they can make... it's the feedback on the triggers that's interesting to me. Yeah. On, the tension. Yeah. So, games can tell how much pressure it takes to pull them back or what to do.
That's cool.
That's going to be really strange to have. Because you're just so used to those buttons always feeling the same, no matter what. Yep. So, that'll be fun to learn.
It's a lot of innovation at the edges of things now, because I feel like we're, I think you can improve on the guts of the machine, but in terms of your interface with your hands, like we've been at the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 button controller with 2 analog sticks for quite a while now.
Yeah.
So you can't really. I mean, you could add another button, I guess, but for the most part, it's about this kind of improvement.
Yeah. And Sony clearly isn't interested in adding just generally more buttons.
Right.
I guess the PS4 added the center pad.
Yeah.
Which
I don't feel like it was that useful.
I mean, it's just a big button. Like,
yeah.
People don't use it for its touch capability all that often because its sensitivity was too low to matter. Like, you couldn't get the precision was too low. Because there was some games that would use it so you could like scroll things, and it just wasn't worth doing.
Right. I do like the speaker in the controller, but only for a transistor.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know if I've used it in anything else that was useful.
Have I noticed it in anything else? Didn't Destiny do something with it originally?
Maybe. I can't remember.
Did your Ghost talk through it?
Not that I can recall.
I thought it did something. I mean, there's been some games that do stuff, but I play with headphones almost all the time, so...
yeah, me too. Right, so it doesn't matter, right?
But I think having the speaker there was great, in general, just letting people do different things. But, yeah, I mean, the controller, I don't think they're going to go crazy with it. Like, there was always the meme that I see that gets repeated on Reddit all the time over the years of the different controllers from all the different, from the 3 major hardware people.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft has, always improving on the formula, basically. Like, they start with the Duke, and then they start coming to grips and finding a controller style that works over time. You have Sony, which basically found it once they initiated the original DualShock on the PS1 and been like, you know what? Small revisions. That's all that's needed. This controller's fine. Mm-hmm. Like, don't change it up. And Nintendo's just like, we're on
Here's the GameCube
We're on
controller.
LSD. We have no clue what's going on.
Got the N64 controller to the GameCube controller. Okay, hold on a second. SNES to fucking 64 to GameCube. That transition, those 3 things, that's a weird fucking arc. That's
and
not
then
even
to
a line.
Wii?
That's like then to the fucking Wii. You're right. God damn.
And we're going back to just
and then the
like...
Wii U.
Yeah. And now we're at Joy-Cons.
Yeah, it's true. They are really on acid over there.
They're like, here, whatever works. And whatever that Ring Fit thing that launched is.
Oh, I know, man. That just came out and people seem to like it.
Yeah, the dev community I'm part of has just been talking like crazy about it. Saying it's super weird and it's very Nintendo.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I'm generally like, cool, Sony, don't... They at least know people tend to like their controller. So, don't go crazy with it. Which is fine. I'm glad it's called a PlayStation 5. Nothing else weird. I did send you that onion thing. I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh, you did. That's right.
Yeah, Microsoft announces the next Xbox named PlayStation 6.
Yeah, that was so funny.
I was like, well timed. Well played.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's, not leaking out, but like trickling out the news about PS5 is kind of interesting because we do have a long time to wait, and a big blowout would kind of bring a lot of hype, but then we'd have a long time to wait.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to have.
I mean, they're confirming what they need to confirm.
Right. The name and then a couple of controller details.
And then it comes out in holiday 2020. Like,
right.
Yep, there we go.
Figured out.
And they'll have some big thing post Last of Us Part 2 coming out, probably.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Setting price and like specifics, launch lineups and things like that.
That would make a lot of sense because I feel like they'd want all the hype building toward that game before they do anything else.
Yeah, I think this is just like, yep, people wait, you have a whole nother year. Like, don't worry about it. You can get that. Yeah, I expect sometime in spring they'll announce a big reveal. This is a great transition to what it actually looks like. Not this insane dev kit thing.
This dev kit looks so cool and dumb.
Oh yeah,
looks like an '80s console. I don't know what the hell. Looks
giant
like some
V in it, like V topped with full like air cooler. I don't know.
Isn't that okay? If it's sucking in air, that's where it'd be sucking in air. Because if you're shooting air out of there,
it's probably. I would assume it would be.
That's the intake right there.
Intake probably, and then venting
otherwise
out
you're blowing
the
hot air
bottoms.
at each other. Yeah. So yeah, it sits like this. I don't know. It looks like a fucking zip disk drive with a with a valley cut in the top of it. And it has a ton of USB ports on the front and a disk drive and some lights and things.
Yeah. I mean, everyone thought it was a joke at first, and then the Wired article that Sony talked about some of this stuff with, and they got to actually play some games on the PS5, like Gran Turismo Sport and stuff like that.
Right.
Said that, yeah, the dev kit looks like that render. That's the dev kit.
Says Prototype 1, not for sale.
No, of course it's not for sale.
Yeah.
Or anything. Like, these are dev kits. They always look stupid and weird.
I wonder what, like, you sent me a picture for the dev kit for the PS4, and it kind of
that's not the only dev kit. There's multiple different ones, but that's the one I saw, and the one I think a lot of people had before the PS4 ever came out.
Because I feel like it's a lot of, like, design thought into this dev kit for something that isn't going to market. Like, why make it look somewhat interesting like that, you know?
Some of them do. Like, not the the PS4 one honestly looks like some form of just, like, AV hardware.
Yes,
like you would just put it in a rack.
That's what I'm wondering, why this one looks so different. It's almost like they had, design contests for the PS5, and this is like the one that didn't win. And they're like, well, fuck, let's make it anyways for the dev kit.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no clue why this is the one. Because they got to make something anyway, so why not make it look funny and weird, and people will talk about it.
Go have fun, because this never has to be sold for looks.
No, not at all. It's going to sit on developers' desks and have all those USB ports, so you can have all sorts of things plugged into it to figure out what the hell's going wrong whenever you, like, brick the dev kit. So that's a thing that exists. I'm waiting for pictures of the leak of actual real-world pictures to leak of it, not the renders.
Oh, I thought this was a real-world picture.
Maybe it is.
The one that I'm looking at, I thought was not a render. But then again, that very well could be a render. What the hell? Oh, no, it's sitting on a blue background. It might be a render.
I've only seen pictures that are a render of it.
Okay.
And then the Wired article didn't have a picture of it. They just confirmed that it looked roughly like the render.
Right.
So, yeah, dev kits, they're weird. They just look strange. That they don't care. They're for developers.
And it makes sense that it's a year out that they're out now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone making games for launch window has already been probably working on these for at least 2 years at this point, year and a half. And that's why I said this is the latest dev kit. I bet there's earlier dev kits that look just like PC boxes.
But this one says Prototype 1, so would that imply that this is the first dev kit? And there's probably new ones out now?
Oh, that's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But that's the render. Maybe the render, someone just put that text on there. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
But anyway, people have probably been working on games. If for the launch window, if it's in 2020, games have been worked on probably since started in 2017, 2016.
And would they have started on them not with a dev kit, but with like a PC that emulates what?
Yeah,
what
most likely. Yeah, close to it, or they could give general specs and say, "Hey, build towards these specs."
Right.
This performance. And let's see. So when does that put that? So 2020, yeah, people probably started hearing about it in 2016 internal at Sony. So internal teams probably started getting up to speed. Trying to see on February 20th. Yeah, my thought, and I'm expecting Horizon 2 to be a launch title.
That would make sense.
Because it came out in February. Horizon Zero Dawn came out February 28th, 2017. So It would be 3.5 years since that. The original release. It's perfect timing. And Guerrilla, beyond doing they've been helping with Death Stranding.
And is that just
for engine support?
Right, that's what I was going to ask.
Which is probably where they're working on updating their engine, the Destiny, so that they can, do a sequel. That's my thought, and that's my wild guess is that Horizon Zero. I doubt it would be called Zero Dawn. Horizon, whatever subtitle they give it, is
Horizon Zero Dawn subtitle, something else.
Yeah, will be out launch window, maybe even day one. Like Guerrilla, I mean, they launched with PS4, had a launch game, so Sony does like to use them as a show off studio, and Horizon's actually a good game. So
that was well liked by the PlayStation faithful because no one else can play it, of course. But also, it's just to me, it is a really good game that has a lot of room to get even better.
Yep.
So,
and it's
I'm looking
kind of
forward to
crazy
seeing
that they haven't announced anything for it.
Right. Haven't even hinted at anything, right?
They had the DLC, and I think at the end of 2017. Yeah, it was that. It was towards the end of the year. It was like September of that year, October. So yeah, they haven't hinted at a thing.
Other than the fact that the games we know about are going to be PS4, PS5 games, right? We've heard hints of that for other games, even though we haven't heard much about,
I mean, sure, some games,
Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or whatever. So we know that some of those games that came out for PS4 before the PS5 launch might also be in the launch window.
I'm sure that they'll do some of those. But I assume there's going to be some that are
total surprises.
Total surprises and just PS5 games.
Yeah, and I think, you're right, that Horizon Zero Dawn 2, or what the fuck they're going to call it, is top of the list.
Yeah. I expect that there's going to be like a Last of Us 2 PS5 edition.
Yeah, that's what they did with...
immediately.
Right. That's what they did with the Last of Us, the original one, PS3/PS4. So, I think it took a while to come out on PS4, maybe not. Yeah.
It did. It took like a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
But any of these games launching towards the end of the PS4, I could see them doing some stuff for the PS5. Again, maybe it will... I want to hear more about the backwards compatibility and the whole thing, because I could totally see this being a thing that these games towards the end of the PS4, you can just play them on the PS5 and they'll just play better.
Yeah, just put your disc in, right? And then you download like a texture pack or whatever.
Yep. Just the same way that the Pro, some games are enabled to have like Pro patches that make them prettier or run faster or whatever.
Feels like doing the Pro was kind of like a dry run for what this would be like.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is very possible that it's just like, you own Last of Us 2 for the PS4. That's cool. Just put it in your PS5 and you can enable like higher graphic settings.
With the Pro, you didn't have to pay more.
Nope.
Do you think that there would be some sort of $10?
Nope.
Yeah, just be plug it in and go.
Yep. They'll still sell more software. So, and it makes their library bigger at the beginning of the game, at the launch of the console.
Pretty exciting, and I'm excited to get more information as we go.
Yeah, I bet sometime around late spring, maybe even wait till E3-ish time, and then they just drop, like, here's what it looks like, here's the price, here's info on backwards compatibility, blah, blah, blah. Like, here's all the details, go.
Right.
What do you have, Microsoft? Bring it.
I know 2020 is going to be pretty interesting for these launches. While Nintendo's just like, yo, we're already out here.
We got the Switch Pro. It's cool.
We got the Switch Mini. We're good.
We know everyone, all of you people are just going to have Switches along with this other console.
So we're the second console, whatever. You buy your PS4 or your Xbox One, just bundle in a Switch with it.
Yeah.
Especially if you did like remote play. Oh, man.
God.
Imagine Xbox, like, whatever the fuck Xbox Scarlet or whatever it's going to be called. Like, do a bundle with PS or with Switch and say you can stream to it. You can use xCloud.
Is it the Xbox 2?
Xbox One 2, excuse me.
2, yeah. I don't know. God, I hate their naming so much.
It has to be something completely different, right?
At this point, probably.
Or they're just going to call it the Xbox One. It's the Xbox One, but
always.
Which is also dumb. So,
sure.
Or maybe they'll just call it
the Xbox. If you're just going to do that, just drop the one and all that crap, and it's just called the Xbox.
Yeah, that's better.
At least that would be in consistency with how Apple names their crap.
Right.
What do you have? I have a MacBook. What Mac? It's just a MacBook.
Right.
Figure out what year it is. I don't know.
Exactly. You have to dig into what year you have via the model number, which is a little annoying, but yeah, it makes sense.
I don't know. They weren't really forward-looking with the name of the Xbox when they decided to do the 360 naming. So
no. They just didn't want to be the Xbox 2 when there was a PS3 on the market.
Oh, I know. It was dumb then as well. It was like, what's the next one called? A 720? I don't know. Yep. So you've done 2 circles? I don't know.
Yep. Oh my god. I think it's just the thing that I'm looking the most forward to in gaming is what the fuck they're going to call that thing. Even though I'm probably not going to buy it. I just want to know what they're going to call it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm sure there is nice internal conversations going on about that right now.
Oh god. Just like internal Slack memes.
Oh my god. I'm sure. Whatever Microsoft uses for internal communication.
To be a fly on the wall in the Xbox ecosystem and then to be a fly on the wall in the White House. Those two things. Oh, just yeah. Anyway, moving on to what we've been playing. I am going to start because I'm playing Witcher 3 on Switch, and it's fucking rad. It is so rad. I'm just gushing about it to my wife, and she's like, "Haven't you played this game?" I'm like,
You're
yes.
like, yeah, it's really good.
Several
what
times.
Do you want?
Yes. Don't you own this game? Yeah, this is the fourth time I bought it. Oh man, it is blurry. It literally is like Vaseline is smeared on the screen, and I'm like, But if you can get past the blurriness, the rest of it's great. It really is. The open world looks pretty, even though it's downgraded. You can definitely tell the textures are downgraded quite a bit, but it runs pretty smoothly. It feels like 30 frames.
30. Yeah.
For the most part. The sound, I know it's downgraded too, but I don't notice. Put on headphones, it sounds great. And it fucking just feels like coming home. Like it really does feel like your favorite novel, your favorite movie that you've watched or read 100 times. I know where to go. I know where everything is. But what I realized in all the times that I played, when I made choices for the Witcher 2 save, I never let. Did you play Witcher 2?
I have, but not. I never beat it.
Okay, so at the end, you can basically you can fight the guy and kill him, or you can let him live.
Yep.
And in my playthrough of Witcher, I always had the guy die. I've never had him live, and so this playthrough of Witcher, I'm going to let him live and then see how it changes the game. Like he's obviously in it, so that'll be interesting. So something new, and then obviously, as much as it hurts my heart, I'll be Team Yennefer instead of Team Triss. But no, it plays well. It sounds great. Yeah, on a small screen. I'm not docking it at all. I'm just playing it handheld, and I'm really, 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 really happy.
Yeah,
so happy. I put 6 hours, 4 or 5 hours in it already, which is unusual lately in terms of time.
So you're still in White Orchard then?
Yeah, I'll be here for. It's like Hinterlands. I'll just be here for a couple weeks. Oh man,
just had to get through White Orchard. Nice.
Yeah,
like the game so much more after that.
Right. And luckily I'm already sold on it, so it's fine. But yeah, I should get to Novigrad just to see how it gets bogged down in the big city.
Yeah.
But, man, it's The Witcher. Just looks like it's got a layer of Vaseline over top.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looked like when I played it at PAX.
Yep.
Very playable. And really, I'm like, if this is the only way that you're going to play it. It's fine. But if you have even the compulsion to play it on, any other console or the PC, play it there.
Yep. Yeah, if you have access, it's cheaper and it looks better.
Yeah.
So much better.
But if the thing that's holding you back from playing is you want to play it portably or on the go, or you only have a Switch, then just play it on the Switch. It's fine. It's still great. It'll be great. But
one of the best games ever. Definitely compromised a bit, but it's running on the Switch. They did it somehow.
I did love that someone asked the CDPR guys if they would have Cyberpunk running on the Switch, and they're like, no, not really. That's
not going to happen. Oh, man.
I was like, yeah, let's talk to you guys. Talk to you about GPUs and CPU power.
Right. Like they, for 2015, they're kind of maxing out Xbox One or whatever, PS4. And then they downgraded to get the Switch, but now they're maxing out PC to make Cyberpunk. So, and targeting next gen. It's not even. It's not going to be on PS4. It's not going to be on Switch.
Yeah. Ugh.
So that's all I've been playing this week. I
played a little bit more Destiny 2 towards the end of beginning of the week. I think I'm done already again.
Oh really?
It's a hobby. I got through the story.
Right.
All the campaigns actually of the base Destiny 2 first year stories. Curse of Osiris was cool. I like that one. There was that one, and then there was Warmind, which was Rasputin stuff.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I did either of those two things.
Which is all on Mars, and that was actually cool. Again, good lore, really bad in tone, so bad whiplash in tone so much of the time. But really, those two things really expanded the lore quite a bit on the Vex and then Rasputin, which was cool.
But the lore stuff in the game is good. So
yeah, it's a hobby game, and I realize I'm just I don't want this to be my hobby. So I don't want to log in every day and do my dailies and care that much. So I'm out.
Yep.
I'll play again at some point, I'm sure, but feels like too much of an obligation in my life.
That's how I felt That's how I felt when I played with you. Like, it was fun to play that night, and like it feels good. But I'm gonna play when Stadia comes out because I'm gonna be able to play up to Shadowkeep. So I want to roll through that. I'm not gonna want to redo all this stuff over on Stadia. So I'm just gonna wait.
But yeah, I'm sure some people have, a lot of people have the lifestyle to make it work and play. For the most part, is a persistent online shooter. It's really what it is.
And the draw of the group of friends who have stuck with you and are there to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing that draws people to WoW or any other big MMORPG. The thing is, I just don't like using the term MMO with Destiny. Because there's nothing massive multiplayer about it. Like, the most people you ever have in one place is probably like 30 in
what about
the tower.
Mini multiplayer?
Kind of. I mean, that's why I'm like, it's a persistent online shooter. So, but I mean, it's the same type of thing. It's a lifestyle game, and just, I'm not in the place in my life where I want that as my lifestyle.
Yeah, if you're going to choose a lifestyle game, just choose Witcher 3, guys.
There you go.
Just keep playing it over and over. It's not persistent. It's not online. None of that shit.
You can just keep playing it, though, over and over. So yeah, got tired of that, did my dailies, and was like, did a couple days of those, and was like, no, I don't want to keep doing this. So, what else have I played? I picked this game up because there was Paradox Con. Paradox Interactive.
Yeah. They do Parasite E? No.
No. They
Stellaris
and Crusader Kings and everything.
Oh, went free to play.
Yeah. So you can free to play Game of Thrones mod. Go. Crusader Kings 2 with the Game of Thrones mod is the best Game of Thrones game ever made.
Right.
Go into your political intrigue to your heart's content. But they have a yearly con for their company somewhere. It's usually it's always in Europe because they're a European company. And they announced like a new BattleTech expansion, and Crusader Kings 3 and Crusader Kings 2 going free to play, and a number of other things, new Stellaris thing. But then they announced this other thing called Surviving the Aftermath, which is a simulation game, and in a series now they're calling it the Surviving series because I have Surviving Mars, which is simulating like trying to build a colony on Mars. But Surviving the Aftermath is like the Earth got fucked up. Now you gotta survive, and you're trying to build a settlement and keep people alive. And it went into early access on Epic, and it was $20, and I was like, sure, I like these type of games, and so I played that for probably like 5 or 6 hours this weekend since Friday when it came out. I was just messing with it. I don't recommend buying it now. There are some pretty bad bugs in this early access. No crashes or anything. Just the villager AI sometimes gets stuck, and then they just run in place until they exhaust themselves and die.
That's kind of fun.
It was pretty funny. I was like, what the fuck is this person? Please stop running. But you can't control your villagers, colonists. Like, they're all AI control. You just say, like, hey, I want to build buildings here or do things here. And then the AI controls them. And clearly, at some point, the AI can get in a state where they're like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just going to run here in one spot and never rest, never eat, never do anything until I die. Right. So that happened. And it doesn't happen immediately, just eventually happens, and it's a reported bug. I'm sure it will get patched pretty quickly. But I have high hopes for this. This is the type of management game that I really like. Limited resources, it's pretty challenging. It has like a world map layer beyond just your little settlement layer, where it's more hex-based, and you're sending scouts out trying to look around the much larger world to try to find different resources, get research so you can build better buildings that don't die or get destroyed by lightning strikes or meteor strikes or all the other horrible things that are happening.
That sounds like a happy game.
It's such a happy game. But you're trying to rebuild society. So,
which society? If it's certain societies, let's just let it stay.
You get to control.
Stay dead.
I will build the best society. We will care about things.
I'll trust you.
Yes.
At this point, anything's better.
It's true. But it's fun. I mean, I definitely feel like, given some time, and they have a good track. Paradox honestly has a really good track record of supporting games like this and just keep adding and working on them. So there's a good chance that it will even within the next month, will get infinitely better. And your villagers just won't kill themselves.
Well, that's good news.
I did have a villager that wouldn't stop. I built a fishing hut as well. And I was like, cool, you're going to be fishing. That's great. They wouldn't stop fishing to eat. And they just died.
They kept fishing but not eating?
Died.
They starved? Oh my God.
They starved because they wouldn't stop doing their job.
That's the best.
I was like, what are you doing?
To eat. I won't stop to eat.
Yeah. I'm like, well, that's some dedication at that point.
Wow.
Yeah. Even then, like, what can I say? I'm still laughing about it. It's humorous, so...
Right. And they're going to fix it, so...
I'm having a good time so far. So, yeah. That's what I've been playing. It was pretty fun to play that. I think it's out on Xbox. Oh, it's out on Xbox One, whatever they call their early access as well.
Yeah, preview? Game preview?
Yeah, it's in preview on Xbox, so it's console as well. Give it some time.
Don't jump in yet.
But
I mean,
it's cheap right now. I think it's cheaper than it was $20, and I'm pretty sure like the Surviving Mars is a $30 game now. So I have a feeling this game's actually going to go up in price.
Yeah, so it might be smart to jump in now and then.
Yeah, if it's something if that's the type of game that you kind of like, then this should be a pretty fun one.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Awesome. So I'm interested to hear more about that game as you progress.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I need to wait for this to get fixed because my village just starts to die because they all die.
That's funny.
It is funny, and then they all die, and it's like, oh, well, I can't progress in the game any farther.
I'm a sick person. Sorry, guys.
It is funny. It's just like The Sims. Like whenever you would make your Sims do horrible things.
Put them in a pool and take out the ladder.
Yeah.
Put them in a room, seal walls.
Yep.
We're evil people.
Pretty much.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man. I can't wait till next week's podcast when we can talk more about Blizzard, by the way. See what else they do in their run
God,
BlizzCon.
Please, just no.
Just
They're just going to cancel BlizzCon. It's done.
Yeah.
You're just going to it's like, sorry, refund everybody. We're done. We're out.
Yeah, I ordered that T-shirt and I was like, I gotta ship it in time. I spent more on shipping than on the T-shirt to make sure I have it in time for BlizzCon.
Oh God!
Taiwanese flags with May holding them, free Hong Kong. Wear it under my shirt and then just unbutton my shirt when I get in.
There you go.
Yeah,
I mean, I have a feeling they're not going to stop you from going in wearing it.
Probably not, but I can't go into the belly of the beast and not protest in some way.
No, makes sense. I don't think you'll be the only one.
So. Oh hell no, no. There's a whole subreddit about BlizzCon protests. Man. Yeah, so. Going see how it goes.
Oh, cool. I actually can't wait for you to go because I want to hear all the cool things.
Can't wait to tell you all the cool things. I'm
pretty sure is Diablo 4, honestly.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, there was a leak today about the art book that mentioned Diablo 4. Like, my friend also said, you, Larry, you want to go to this BlizzCon. I'm like, okay, well, the only thing that I fucking care about is Diablo 4. So I have
They're actually going to show it this year.
Yeah, I hope it's not just a title screen. It has to be more than that, I think, after last year's shit, but who knows?
Yeah, I'd hope so. I mean, we heard all the rumors saying that they almost showed it last year.
Right.
Like, they were right up to the end. They were expecting to show it.
Even last year. They should have just done a title screen last year, man.
So, you have to imagine that it's, well on its way at this point for showing. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's demo, something playable there. Honestly, they did that with the BlizzCon where they showed Diablo 3 for the first time. It was playable.
I will stand in that line all day, without a doubt.
Yeah.
With my free Hong Kong shirt. I don't care. I'm playing that game.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, well, this is episode 214, Prof and Dev Play Games. He is at Summerspeak. I am at Prof Plays Games. If you like our show, hit us up on Patreon, Prof and Dev Play Games. Support us $1 or $5 levels, and then rate us on your podcast service of choice. Tell your mom, tell your aunt, tell your cousins. Have them all subscribe. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Later.